Welcome back. This is the second tutorial for the Kaplan-Meier analysis or the code candidategenes.m. In the previous tutorial, you have seen how where to get the data from, what is the data, etc. In this tutorial, I will teach you how to get your gene expression, but with only your candidate genes. If you remember previously, from cBioportal you get a full gene expression table with patients and their gene expression per gene. For example, let's go here. Takes time to open it as it's a big file. Anyway, what you will be requested to do is to prepare a gene list in an Excel file beforehand, and that gene list will be your candidate gene list. You will have to include your driver gene in that list, but first let's wait for the file to open to see the full gene expression table. Alright, this was just a reminder. Okay, so it's a big file, and my code cannot manage to work on all the genes of this file, so you will have to choose only several genes. You can manually copy the genes and the patients with their gene expression according to this gene, and you can do that, but it takes a while. So I created a code that automates that. My code only works with cBioportal files thus far. You can adjust it however you want, but thus far this is how it works, and it works with the gene names should be according to the Homosymbol nomenclature, and it's case sensitive, so please be aware of that. As you can see, these gene names are in uppercase, and in order to find out what is the approved name or symbol of the gene, you simply just type wait okay, I have some problem here, but let's just search by an example query, and here you see a list of genes. Let's look at this gene, for example. Oh, and this record has been withdrawn by Homosymbol nomenclature, but here you see another gene and its approved symbol. Okay, so I'll give you, don't save, I'll give you an example of a gene list. Here is a gene list. Please write your gene lists in the first column of Excel, only one sheet, and again, please make sure that your gene names are case sensitive. You must, as I said, you must include your driver gene. In this case, it's the P53. And the result would look like something like this, okay? You can clearly see there are fewer genes than the full gene expression table. Okay. Now, let's go to the code. So this is Matlab. And before you run the code, you have to make sure that you are in the correct directory. And Matlab runs codes that are found in the current working directory. Okay, so in order to do that, I don't know what's going on. Apparently I cannot provide any key inputs while recording. Okay, so you will have to make sure that you are in the correct path in order to run the code, and the path is, and in order to reach to the correct directory, simply write cd and then the path. Your path will be shown here. Okay, and you will see its files. The reason for that is because in the lab there are several Matlab codes that people use, and each code is found in a different directory. And so just make sure of that. Now, in order to run the code, please look for list genes to table. Double click it. It will open the code in the editor tab. And now in the editor tab up here, please click run. And in the beginning, you should choose your gene expression table. So, for example, let's use the expression table of breast cancer, and then you give it your prepared gene list. And here's the gene list, just so you'll see how it looks like, because I prepared it beforehand. Okay, this is how it looks like. Choose that, and then you will choose your output directory. No. Just an example. Okay, let's choose this directory. Okay, now this code does take time to run. Now, a weird thing that occurs, and I have no control over, is that sometimes you will get an error message that will look like this. Error, unable to write a certain file, you may not have write permissions. And I have no idea why it happens. I tried to save and write an Excel file on Matlab 24, it didn't work, it does work on Matlab 26. So please output your results in Matlab 26 for now. I also am not sure whether running the code from Matlab 24 will work. I have no idea. It might be fixed in a future update of Matlab, but I just don't know. The problem occurs mainly with the function write table or write matrix. Also, as I said previously, please write your genes according to the Homosymbol nomenclature. The reason I say that, because if you don't write it correctly, the summarized gene expression table that you will get might not include all of your desired candidate genes, and so that's your responsibility. Another reason why you might not find your gene and the candidate gene expression table is because the gene doesn't exist in the full table. So it's also a possibility. The main gene, the main code runs better with fewer genes. The more genes you add, the complexity of the code will grow in a polynomial way or exponential way, I don't know, but the complexity is bad. So please try to not output more than please try to not run your code on more than like 400 genes, and please try to not output more than 50 images for genes. Done. It doesn't always work, as I said, but this time it does. So your output will be named result, an Excel file, and here you can see it indeed outputted the desired file. Alright, so this is it for today's tutorial. In the next tutorial, I will teach you how to run the code itself. Goodbye.